Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now.
But you look great.
I'm feeling 1,000 times. I'm finally getting my color. I told my husband, I looked in the mirror one day and I said, oh my God, I've never been this white. I'm usually just white on paper. I said, I look awful. Where'd my color go? And but we got me on some vitamins, better vitamins and stuff. And finally, I'm doing so much better. My color's coming back. I said, I look like me again. I said, that's kind of scary when you look in there, you don't know who you are anymore.
Exactly. Okay, so just so that you have an idea of what we're doing here, I'm still recording. I didn't think I was recording, but we're gonna edit it, so don't worry about it. Okay. But we're gonna talk about crocheting. We're gonna talk about having a baby at a mature age. We're gonna talk about your writing. We're gonna talk about your book. We're gonna just sit here and have a good time, and you're gonna give us some basics on crocheting.
Yep.
On what to do, because this is a lost art. How is my color in there? Am I dark? Is my lighting dark?
You actually look pretty good from what I could see. I got my light shining right in my face here.
That's what he said too. You look pretty good, but look at what I got on.
That's looking good.
I know, you made it for me.
Yeah, that's the only one of those I've made. I didn't make it before. I just made that one for you.
And this little flower, I couldn't put the scarf on, girl, because I beat and had a hot flash on you and passed out shit.
It's a little warm.
It is a little warm, but welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney, the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. And I'm here, Brains, with my friend, Deedra. I met Deedra online. Hold on, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for my pointer. Hang on. Now, you know I can't find it, right?
Yes, I got it.
There it is, right there. Brains, I met Deedra online. Oh, how long we been friends now? 4, 5 years?
Yeah, feels like forever.
It feels like forever. And she has been a bright spot. She has been a follower. She's been a supporter of On the Edge, Brains. I love her. And how we met was I interviewed her because I wanted to really help her propel and get noticed when it comes to her book publishing and her book writing. She writes children's fan fiction. For what's your age genre for those particular books, like 7 to 13?
Yeah, young adult and younger. I try to keep it clean, you know what I'm saying? So really 7 and up. Has some older ladies tell me, I like your book just as much as my teenage daughter. So, and I keep it clean.
Yeah, well, these kids this age don't keep it clean. Are you on your phone or are you on your laptop?
I'm on my phone.
Can you turn your phone horizontal? Because I want to get the full landscape there.
Here, let me see here if I can. Hang on just a minute here. We got this. We got it cinched in. My husband set it up for me. Let's see if I go like that.
There you go.
There we go. That's
just so that you know when you're videotaping something on your phone, if you have it horizontal, you get those black bars. If you do it, if you do it vertical, you got the black bars. If you do it horizontal, you got nothing but space. So let me adjust my thing. We're doing this real relaxed. This is going to be a great, great show. So anyway, back to Deedra. So Deedra's an editor, and we got to talking, and she's down there in Kentucky, somewhere that I've always wanted to go. And since I met her, when I met her, she wasn't dating nobody. Then she got engaged. Then she got married. And here she is, a woman of a particular age and done had a baby. Oh, over 40, right?
I'm 42.
Really?
40. Yeah, my other two children are in college, and here we are starting all over again.
Starting all over again. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But the fun part about today's show, once I get set up here, is we going to learn how to crochet.
Yeah.
Now, crocheting is a lost art, and it is such a stress reliever. And Deedra made me this hat. She made me this hat with a scarf, and I tell you, I love it. I love it. It is just so cute. And look at these little flowers. I want to learn how to make the little flowers. But I used to crochet. You know, I look, all the celebrities are learning how to knit, crochet, and what's that other thing people do? Needlepoint. I never was interested in that. But it's all about tying knots. And that's what our life is full of right now, a bunch of knots. And so we're going to make something beautiful out of it. And I'm so excited. She's going to give us some basic steps. So what I want us to all do is get our crochet needles. And what I did was I went on Amazon and I purchased all of these for $6. And I went over to the dollar store and got me some yarn. And there's so many different kinds of yarns, you know, and patterns. That really kind of trips me out. I don't know how people do it, because I can do a straight line and, you know, squares and circles and all that kind of stuff, but I don't even know where to begin. So before we get started, tell my brains a little bit about you, and we can talk more as we crochet.
Yeah, well, I've been a writer now for over 13 years, but I've been a crochet artisan for 22 years now.
No,
I started doing this. I had a spinal tumor and I ended up in a wheelchair for a while with spastic paralysis. And I needed something. I needed something. I'm an active person. I don't do still and I don't do sedentary. I had to have something. And this is one of those things, if you find yourself physically needing to heal and you need to take some time and you can't do certain activities that you're used to, you could pick this up and it fills that void. It gave me a purpose. It gave me something to put my mind on other than my physical. It's just really good. And then I turned it into a small little business. I currently do not sell custom pieces anymore, but for probably 10, 15 years, I did custom pet apparel.
what?
And I'm telling you, oh girl, people are crazy. I've done wedding dresses and tuxedos for dogs. Yes, I did cheerleading outfits, ballet outfits. The weirdest thing that was ever requested, and I actually said, no, I will not make it, was a canini. They wanted a bikini for their dog with little, and I said, no, I'm sorry. I draw the line. You got to draw the line somewhere.
Girl, you better make that money.
But yeah, I actually retired from HIT when I started doing my writing full time because honestly, I found that I enjoy crochet for fun more than for profit. And I got tired of being ate up by the little dogs. I ain't gonna lie about it. I've been peed on, I've been bit, poor little thing. I've traumatized so children. And they didn't care what the dog was. If they wanted a cheerleading outfit with a skirt, it didn't care if it was a boy or a girl. They didn't care how it felt. They wanted the doggy in that outfit. And I finally said, you know, I just can't do this anymore.
I know.
Oh,
is there no shame? Is there no shame? So thank you for having your On the Edge Brains cup. You know, like I said, you've been doing it for a long time. That's right. Use it for whatever you got to use it for. Pins. Okay, I'm there with you. I'm there. So tell us a little bit about the art of crocheting. Okay, because I mean, I looked in my bag here.
Yeah.
And I got a million different needles and needle sizes, from, you know, the small. I mean, they hooked me up to the real big ones.
There's itty bitty ones, and you use these for very fine, like thread. You can crochet thread. Some people get crazy and actually use sewing thread and make doilies. I'm not that person. I like the big yarns.
And who does doilies? Doilies is so 1940.
Well, I tell you, the hot thing right now is to make them and turn them into dresses, wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses? So they do a bunch of doilies and then they stitch them together?
Yes, and then they actually put it onto the bodice. Like you'll have a silk underneath and they'll create the doilies all. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's hot. A lot of people, But now that you're talking about a commitment, you better really love who you're marrying, because that's like a couple of years of your life. You'll be there making them doilies. That's it.
And you know what? There's this sister, this African sister, that is on YouTube. Have you seen her?
What's her name?
I don't know her name. I don't know her name. She's not a brain, so we can't plug her. But let me tell you, I've been trying to, but she is bad. And I mean, she's bad. And I think she charges like maybe $400, $600, but it is worth it. And she's got the big, I'm gonna send you her link. Maybe we can get some business or something going on, but she's got these big sleeves and all different, colors and shapes and sizes. And it's really amazing how you can take some yarn and some needle and custom fit,
Oh, yeah.
and then you don't have to block it and make sure that it's washable or all that kind of stuff too, right? So that it lasts.
And if you understand some of the basics, like I already knew how to sew, so I understood a little bit of the basics of body measurement. I'll hold this up. This is the dress I did for my daughter. This was actually from a pattern.
That's gorgeous.
I used a baby doll pattern, but I understood how to make it bigger. And that's what, if you understand increasing, like to make it bigger, you can increase the size of your yarn and your hook size, and it will help you increase the size. So that's just a little tip. If you increase the hook size and the yarn size, it'll increase your finished project size.
So you don't want to use where that little doily one. I don't have a little.
You don't want to use an itty bitty like this tiny. No,
yeah,
you want to.
I'm kind of showing you different hook sizes.
Right.
And right here it says 7, like it says a 7mm or 8mm on here.
So for that one, I gotta take my glasses off. I'm blind with and blind without them, girl. G6, which is a 4mm, is what I use for that dress. But it called for one of these really small, like an E or a D hooks. But I increased it, and I went from the fingering yarn, which is very fine. It's a step above your thread, to a sport weight yarn, and that made it big enough for my baby to wear. And it's a pattern. I don't know. I won't plug, but see, it was this pattern here. You can buy these.
Plug them. That's all right. That's all right. We good today.
That's my favorite.
We give us some pro bono love today.
Annie's Attic. I love Annie's Attic. They have such great patterns. And I'll tell you a little secret. One of the reasons why I love to buy it is because they walk you through the stitches. In the back, it actually tells you how to sew it. It has little.
Okay, so wait. Hold on a minute. So taking it and bringing it up to the camera a little bit and kind of hold it for a second so people can focus on it. There you go.
There we go. Yeah. I was trying to.
Okay.
They really walk you through it. Now, a lot of the pattern books do this. I mean, you can pick one up and he'll teach you the basic stitches. Like here's the stitch guide. You can see how I make, this is great. I use this for reference, and I've been doing this for 22 years. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't hurt to have a reference guide, because sometimes you forget. You get into it and you're like, okay, how do I make that stitch again? I've not done that one in a while.
Okay. I like those. And then let me see that other little baby dress you got back there, that pink and white one. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this was another pattern from Annie's Attic. I didn't bring the book in here. It's a rosebud. It actually has a pattern for the dress and a little hat and a blanket. I just did the dress because I love these.
That is so cute. See, this stuff like that's classic, that you don't never get rid of. You can't get rid of that. And look at the little sleeves on it. Let me see those sleeves.
Yeah, I'm hanging on to it because you can pass these down. They hold up so much better. And I was talking to my daughter.
Love.
Yeah, I was talking to my daughter about this. It's a privilege to be able to know how to crochet, and it's a privilege. Thank you for letting me teach other people and maybe inspire them to do this, because this gives us better quality things at our home for our children. But you know what? You can make this and market it. So this could change someone's life. If you're looking for a way to make a little extra, hey, this is great. It's calming, it's relaxing, it's affordable, like you said, and you can make cool things.
But it's addicting too.
Oh, it is.
I'm a crafter. Girl, let me tell you, I make jewelry. I can make some bad jewelry. I make jewelry. I'm a painter. I'm a crafter. I do all of that to stimulate your mind.
Oh yeah.
And also very relaxing because you can sit here with a little something in your cup, a little libation, and crochet for hours. You can crochet and read. You can multitask.
Oh yeah. And you can take this, it's very portable. When I'm teaching people to crochet, I teach them to make these little swatches. And you could take a small amount of yarn and you can take it with you and make something like this. Learn your basic stitch, come back in an edge, learn how to edge it. You wouldn't believe what you can do. You can make scarves, you can make sweaters, you can make blankets just out of these little. And when you're learning the basics of piecing together, like sizing, you can see if you have these, you can kind of see, I need something here. I need one of these opposite, and then I'll need something here for the shoulder.
Okay.
And then your arm sleeve, you start learning this, look at it in pieces like artwork. You know how they know the shapes.
Okay.
You learn how to do that. There's no stopping you.
Yeah, there's no stopping you because again, I'm seeing it everywhere. Have you seen those big things that they're doing on Facebook? You almost got to use your cotton picking arm.
Yeah.
What in the world is that all about? They're making rugs and.
Yeah, it's hand, and you use your hand and arm. It's hand crochet. I've never done that, but they do. They have monster yarn. Like I said, that's the great thing about crochet is you can pick what fits you. You can use small. If you like thread, use the thread. If you like the bigger stuff, use the bigger stuff. Do what feels right for you.
Well, I've seen it with fringe on it.
Oh yeah.
All kind of stuff. And also, can you knit?
Yep, I know how to knit.
Wow.
And there's actually something called a crow hook, which is a combination of both.
Really?
Yeah, you can get Afghan hooks, which are like double-ended, or the crow hook, which has a single end and it's really long. I didn't bring any in here to show. But yeah, there's all kinds of combination stuff. And I'll tell you another thing I love about this, being multicultural, having like different representation in my family. You can find colors and play to your culture. You know what I'm saying? Make things that's specific for you and your family that just kind of go with the vibe of your family. If that makes any sense. My aunt's
it does. I mean, black, green, and gold. And that's Jamaican colors. So it can really kind of piece together. And you can get multicolored yarns too.
Oh, yeah. And you can really find yarn in any price range. Like you could get cheaper yarn, like the baby Bernay yarn. I think I might have paid $6 or $7 for a big skein.
Wow. And
you can do a sweater out of one of these. I mean, easily. You could do a small receiving size blanket out of one of these. Or you could get
this is what me and my mama used to do. We used to get it and roll it into a ball. Do you pull the string out and let it shrink down, or do you roll it into a ball?
I usually pull it until it starts getting messy, then I ball it. And I have all these little balls. Oh, like, yeah. My daughter's my girls have gone back to knitting and crocheting. They said, Mommy, we're stressed at college. We just need something. So they started back doing it. So they come in and rob me of my yarn.
Wow. Well, let's get into it. Let's start. We can continue to talk about your books and writing. So how do we get started? And what size I'm using a 6mm. Is that too big?
It shouldn't be for the yarn you got. Really, it's what you're comfortable with. That looks like it should be fine for that. Okay. I'll tell you something. If you want to know what they suggest on the side of the yarn, let me come a little bit closer. Can you see that?
Yes.
They actually tell you the size of the yarn. They'll tell you, let me see, this one's an acrylic, 100% acrylic, and it's a light number 3. That means it's a sport weight, basically. And next to that, there's a little thing that tells you the knitting needle size, and next to that is the crochet hook. So for sport weight, for this scheme that I'm using, it suggests a 4mm. Am I obeying it? No, I'm using a 5. Okay. So I mean, 4 is the suggested, but I like to use a 5.
Okay.
So but it does. So that way, if you're out looking and you ever want to know, you can kind of check the label here. It'll tell you.
Okay, so here, wait a minute. I have that on mine.
So you can actually read your label. Let's see if I can come
Hold on.
closer here and hold it a little bit stiller so you can kind of see what I'm
Yeah,
talking.
that's good. That's good because I'm gonna show you mine here. Okay. So here's mine, Brains. Can you see it? Wait, let me turn around.
Right there it is.
All right.
Nice.
So mine says 4 medium, 10 by 10 centimeters, and yeah, so 131 yards, 120 millimeters, 2.11 ounces, and mine is acrylic.
And it should tell you like a hook size.
Let me get my camera. I don't know. I know I do this every day. I don't know why I can't get my camera right today. There it goes.
There we go.
All right. So see where it tells you what to do? Right there.
Yep.
Okay, so when it says 4 medium, so it's telling me that I should use a size 4 needle, right? That's what they recommend.
They would probably recommend you could get away with a G hook, a 4 millimeter, or like you can use the next size up, which is an H. Usually if you stay close to the recommended, but now I'll tell you, it really depends on what you're comfortable with. If you're having problem with the recommended size, go a size up, because I have problems with my hands. They'll go numb every now and then. So I like to have a little bit chunkier of a needle. I get my hook.
See why you busy, you make it stuff. So this is a 4.5.
Yeah, so that would be good. That would be a good one to start with.
All right.
Let's see here. Find my other end of this. Can't find my other end.
It's gonna be fun, Brains. We're gonna do this for a minute. And just sitting there and just going at it. All right.
And you make a slip knot. I don't know. That's one of those things when you do a slip knot, it's kind of hard to show.
Okay, so watch this, Brains. I just twirl it.
Yeah.
And I bring the end in. Can you see like that?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we like to call this the art of pulling up loops, because you're making loops. Just think about making loops, because that's what you do to get started with your chain. Is you'll be holding it and you'll yarn over and you'll pull up a loop through that first loop.
Okay, so do you go over or under?
I go under the yarn and then pull it through.
Okay, you see that, Brains? Watch. Now, where my challenge was the consistency on the loop, because some loops are bigger than others.
Yeah, and that comes with practice, and it's called tension. So you'll notice. Let me see if I come a little bit closer.
Like life is full of tension. Loose or high. Okay.
But you can see when you're holding your yarn, I let my yarn, I don't strangle it, don't choke it and hold it real tight, but hold it kind of loosely in these 3 fingers over here. And because you're pulling that loop and it'll pull it through your fingers. Okay. But I've got it caught. So that helps with tension.
Now I look a little awkward, Brains, but I'm trying to stay in the camera so that y'all can see what we're doing here.
Yeah.
All right.
And YouTube is a great resource. Like you said, there's people on there that are doing videos. They'll walk you through making items. And that's a great way, but I still suggest getting like a pattern book, because you need that visual reference so you can kind of read and understand. It's good to have.
I got me a little chain going on here.
Yeah. And when I do these little practice ones like this one is the half double crochet stitch. And I think I chained 23, and then I went into the second chain from the hook and did it.
Okay, so you count.
But you can count these loops. That's the other thing. It took me forever, was learning to count loops.
13, 15, 16. Okay, I got 16.
And really you can do however many you want. I just tell people, start off, if you do 20 stitches, and do 20 rows, if that makes sense, because you're trying to keep it consistent. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to either a square or a rectangle.
Okay.
So if you have 20 of the chains, if you have 20 stitches here, you want to go 20 rows.
Okay.
And that's good to know because you're pulling these loops up. You're going to work your stitches in those loops.
Okay.
And this is what tripped me out when I first started. If you can see, this is the chain side where I had chained it and worked my stitches back in. It looks a little bit different from the other side that's your finished in where you end off.
Okay.
So that's okay. It's going to look that way. So when I first did it, I said, why does that not look identical? Well, this is because this is the side that we just started the chain on. And it's fine, I promise.
Okay.
I pulled out, I can't tell you how many times I thought, what did I do wrong? It don't look identical, but it's not supposed to.
All right.
So, when you get your chain, let me see here. I'm just going to do a short one. Of course, for the half double, I don't know if you can see what I did here. I'll come up a little closer. I yarn over, and I usually I'm going to skip 2 stitches this time and go in. You can skip 1 or you can skip 2 stitches, whatever is most comfortable for you when you're doing the half double.
Okay.
And you'll insert it into that. For me, it's the 3rd loop.
Okay.
So yarn over, 3rd loop, then you grab it, if you can see that, and you're pulling it through that loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook at this point.
Yes.
When you yarn over, you pull through all 3 of those, and you have a half double crochet.
Oh, okay. I got that.
It's not as hard.
I went over. Now, then I'm gonna go into the 3rd one again, right?
Yeah. Well, now you've got your starting stitch. You go into the next. You don't have to skip any now.
Oh, okay.
Now you go right to the next loop, the one you've not worked in, next to the one you just did, and you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up. You'll have 3. Yarn over.
Okay.
I go fast. It's really hard for me.
Wait, and then you pull through all 3, right?
Yep.
I got something like this. How's that look?
Yep. You're getting it.
All right.
You go to the next one. Pull up a loop. I'm trying to go slow.
That's
I'm like
right, I got you.
I'm a little speedy person here. That's one thing. You learn it, it's hard to slow down. But yeah.
Okay, and as you go, okay, so I got it. See, look at that. I done did something, brains. I done did it. All right. So then you go through each one.
Yeah.
And this is a great craft that I see Ben doing. Who else used to do it? Rosie Greer. He was a man that used to do some crocheting too. And it doesn't matter. This is not just a woman's thing. This is everybody's thing.
And it actually started in the 1800s in France. It's like the first notable, because I looked up some of the research. That's the first time like a form of crochet was seen, but it spread. And it spread all throughout really the world. And one of the things that made this so popular is you can do it on your fingers. Men would actually make fishing nets. They would use their fingers like a hook and crochet netting.
That makes sense.
So it's for men, it's for women. It's very.
And so do you kind of pull it and shape it as you go
It's just
along?
very.
We paused. I don't know what happened. Got a hook stuck. Where you at, Deedra? I don't know what happened. We had a little technical difficulties, brains, but this is where I'm at so far. She gonna come right back. See, I got this going on. I'm excited.
If what happened, it just died on us.
Everybody's just probably,
Yeah.
Okay, but look, this I got while I was doing our little intermission. I got this going.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Now the challenge, and my tension's good. The challenge that I had is that it always curls. Don't worry about that because it'll straighten out after a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the more that you do, the more relaxed your hands will get, you know, because sometimes when you first start out, you really hold on to it tight. As you get used to it, you get more comfortable and you loosen up. Notice that it won't curl as much because you'll not be pulling it as tight. It'll be a little bit looser. So, but when you get to the end, you'll chain 2.
Okay. So hold on, because this is where I get confused. Okay, chain 2. So
yeah,
1, 2.
Yeah, and that counts as your first half double crochet. So you're going to skip when you turn. You'll skip this first set of it looks like a V. When you're looking at it, it'll look like a V. Let me get close here.
Okay.
You can kind of,
wait a minute. Let me put you on Zoom. Okay.
If you can kind of see, the top looks like a V. You're skipping that first one. You're coming to this one here. Because remember, this chain counts as your first half double. So this will be the second half double that you're creating. So you're going under
now,
both.
when you turn, so when you turn it around, you're turning it around, you're staying on the same side over here.
Right, on the same side.
Okay, do you turn it to the left or to the right? Does it make a difference?
Yeah. You want this pointing to the left. This is where we first started. Okay, so all the thread is on your right, where your hand is.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of see, because the thread should be where your hook is. Okay. And you're going to take that thread, and remember, we have to yarn over. So we'll have it like that, and then we go into the second V shape, the little hole there.
Okay.
And then pull up a loop. So we're grabbing.
Wait, now are you going into this top right here, or are you going into the hole right there? You going into the hole?
I'm going into the hole, so that V stitch that you can see, it kind of looks like a V. Okay. It will be on top of the yarn that you pull up.
Okay.
Then you yarn over and you'll pull through 3. And then you go yarn over and you start, and you just keep going in each stitch from that point to the end. Okay.
And you go into the hole, you don't go into the stitch per se. Okay.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So it'll have that V shape. When you're looking at the stitches, when you count them, you count those V's. That's the top of the stitch. You're going in the hole right under the V.
Okay.
Now, there are some patterns that will tell you to only go under one of the strings of that V, but we're not going to get that fancy right now. Just basics is go under both of them.
And you got to look for that. You got to look for that hole to make sure you're in the right place, or you can mess your whole thing up.
Oh, yeah. And that's what helps it lay flat.
Okay. So I'm looking for I kind of pull mine open to make sure that I'm going into the hole, because that's what I used to do. I used to go into the stitch instead of going into the hole.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because like I said, some of them will tell you to do like the back loop. Okay. What they're talking about will be the V stitch. There, as you hold it, there is a front stitch and there's a back stitch of the V stitch. We're going underneath both of those. Okay. But some patterns will tell you to either work in the front or in the back loop. And that's what they're talking about, is this V stitch. I had a hard time with that because no one had showed me. And I'm like, well, where is these loops at that I'm supposed to go?
And you know what I like too with crocheting is there's no mistakes, because all you do is when you do it wrong, you just pull it. And it's just, you go right back to where you were.
Now, knitting, if you drop a stitch, it's more complicated. I have not learned how to pick stitches up in knitting. To me, I can do basic, like a basic dish rag or some small projects. Mm-hmm. Not as proficient, because to me, it's harder to pick those stitches up. Crochet, like you said, if you make a mistake, you can pull it out and you can find where you're at and just start back.
So let's talk a little bit about you being a woman of a particular age, girl, and had that new baby. What has that done for you?
Oh, that's a blessing. But I've been telling everybody, have your babies when you're young, because I'm telling you, at 42, I have more patience with her, but I don't have the same stamina. You want to see baby?
Yeah, let me see her.
Bring that baby over here.
Oh my God. Hi, baby.
Look, there's April. She's all eyes for
Look at
daddy.
that. And she's a strawberry blonde too. She got some red hair.
Yeah, she's got some red hair. God, we're in trouble.
Hi, sweet baby. How you doing? Hi, mama. Look at that. Well, and now wait, now, Kate, will you share with my brains what happened? You oohed when you should have eyed. You didn't think you was gonna have no kids.
Oh Lord, I gotta tell this one. So my husband, he'd had a vasectomy like 14 years ago. And they didn't tell him that vasectomies can fail. And the longer
look at Ray, she laughed. Your baby's laughing. She said, look at I done came.
And at 42, I was already having hot flashes and stuff, and I was premenopausal, and I thought, oh, glory to God, it has finally stopped. No. I said, no, wait, the hot flashes stopped too. Something's not right with this. I think I remember this. And then I started getting nauseated. I said, oh God, you have a sense of humor, don't you, Lord? I know you did not just get me pregnant. And I said it had to be God, because 14 years after the vasectomy and me premenopausal, here we have a baby. My husband just turned 50. I am 42. We got a baby.
See, you know, when God is working.
Yes, he is.
You know, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no choice but to do it. And she just laughing and she just is happy. But was that really, I mean, I'm sure that was a challenge on you. How did it feel being pregnant at 42?
Honestly, this was a good pregnancy, but I'm not going to lie, my blood pressure was the biggest thing. That's why I said have your babies when you're young. I had some more like preeclampsia that I had not had with the other two pregnancies when I was younger. It's harder. It's physically harder. Emotionally, though, I did really well, you know, other than I about passed out when I saw that positive pregnancy test.
I know you was like, let me go get another one. I got this one from the 99-cent store. This was defective. It's wrong. Let me go back.
Oh, I did. 3 of them later. I still didn't believe it. And I went into the doctor, and the doctor confirmed it. I said, please tell me you joking. I'm old. I know I ain't having a baby.
Wow.
She's like, you having a baby.
Well, now, how do you feel now physically?
I feel a lot better. I'm still struggling with some high blood pressure, bouts of it, and like I told you previously, got a little postpartum. Ain't no shame in needing a little.
Ain't no girl, please. Ain't no shame in it. My daughter's grown 33 and I ain't pregnant. I still got postpartum. I'm telling you, I got this weird. Every time her birthday comes, I feel an aching and a twitching and a twanging, and I'm like, what? But you're giving life. You're doing God's work. You're doing God's work. And so you are supposed to be reminded of that.
Yes. And you know, there ain't no shame in needing some help. Yeah. This was the hard thing for me. I spent 11 years as a single mother with my other daughters, and getting remarried, I'm having to learn how to let him help me. And there ain't no shame in admitting that I'm a little bit of a control freak. I ain't gonna lie about it. You're an independent woman and you've been independent for a long time. Getting remarried brings its own set of challenges, and then having a baby, I need a little help. And it's hard for me to say, hey, I need a little help over here. Letting him do the dishes, it like to kill me. I ain't gonna lie about it.
I know.
But he did.
But you know what happens a lot of times is that when women have been independent, we emasculate men, and we have to be very careful about that, because men want to be loved, they want to be acknowledged, they want to be spoiled. Okay, they want to be spoiled, and ain't nothing wrong with that. When you're with somebody, they want to know that you want them.
Yes.
You know, and so again, to be wanted and to be needed and to ask for help and to share, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you got married, is because you wanted a partner. You wanted somebody to share in all that with you, outside just paying your bills.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's a lot. I'm going to tell you, coming from being a single mom to having an actual supportive husband who's involved, ladies, get you a man that's there for the long haul, because I'm telling you, it makes a world of a difference.
It does.
It's been hard, but it's been good, and it's taught me things about myself.
Yeah. Well, again, I've been married 36 years and I still learn something every day, but I always let my husband know that he's valued and that he's appreciated, and he does the same for me. That's a partnership, you know. And I let him be the boss when it's his turn, and then I'm the boss when it's my turn. Everybody get a turn at the wheel, right?
Exactly. And you know, I think one of the best things that's come out of this is we kind of developed a business partnership, you had asked me, to talk about how people could connect with me.
Right.
Well, we just put in a 10 by 10 shop, and he made space in it for me. I want to have a drafting table, doing artwork, crochet, have my books out, and he's going to be doing bicycle repair.
Yeah, now I saw that. Now, what does he just all kind of bicycles, he repairs them?
Yeah, you can bring them in. People have been bringing him bicycles in to be just repaired. Some people need modifications. I needed my bicycle modified. We found some they call them stabilizer wheels. I just be honest, it's adult training wheels.
I was going to say, you got you some big old training wheels.
Yes, I do. And he fixed my bicycle up. I can't ride without those. I have no balance because of my spinal injury.
Oh, that's good. So you're still able to ride.
I could still ride. I mean, he's found ways to retrofit that bicycle so I can ride. And that's some of the things that we do is we help people with those needs. It's great. I mean,
so you know what else too? With as far as the bicycles, does he do like tandem bicycles, all kinds of bicycles?
All kinds of bicycles. You can bring them in. He can do repairs. He can fix the brakes, modify them for you, adjust them. We've had a lot of people come in, they weren't satisfied, and they didn't realize all it needed was their seat adjusted, and all of a sudden they're more comfortable. Girl, if you're having it too high,
I'm telling you, all this is like life. You got to get your seat adjusted. What I love about this crocheting too is, you can sit around with your girlfriends and have a conversation and make something beautiful. This Absolutely. Is a great bonding with your, with your children, teaching them a lost art and a craft.
Really. And his life, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get real. You said you want me to get real and raw. My first marriage was really, really, he was narcissistic, and it was very mentally and emotionally abusive. I learned to crochet and was running my business during that time. And I think this saved my life because all of the, just the emotional part, he was so cruel to me, but this was something I could do that empowered me. And he was isolating me from people, but he couldn't isolate me fully because he needed the money from my crochet and to sell it out. You know what I'm saying? So he allowed me to have a booth at a local flea market, and my crochet was sustaining us. And it saved my life. It kept me from being fully isolated. So I'm telling you, this is a way.
And also it allowed you to put a little money in the kitty. And I tell women all the time, now look, I've been married, like I said, 36 years, but you best believe I got my own little money, because you never know, folks change their mind.
Oh yeah. Well, and
they change their mind. You sitting there looking stupid. You done crocheted all this stuff and made all this money, and now you don't have eye water to cry with.
Right. Well, when I first moved back here, after that marriage ended, I had nothing other than what my crochet gave me, the money I had set aside. And I come back with some yarn, a handful of clothes. It was hard. I lived for a long time with my mom, and we had a good relationship. I raised my kids there. Like I said, we independent women doing our thing. And
now wait, I done run into a problem, teacher. I done got a knot in my yarn and I can't get it out. Now what I do?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes if it don't come out, you got to bring out the scissors, girl.
Oh Lord, you got to butcher it. Okay, but then what do I do? Then I tie a knot in it and then just continue on?
Yeah, you can, if are you at the end of a row?
Yeah, pretty much. Right here.
So yeah, you should be able to pull. Okay, if you're at the end, let me go back here and I'll show you. This is a good way to end off.
Scissors.
Just some scissors here. If I can stitch here, I'm always having difficulty. This is the other reason why I quit doing this professionally, is I have difficulty feeling the tips of my fingers now, so I'm having a hard time getting. But I still teach people. I mean, they come here to our physical location, bring your yarn, I teach you. If you're at the end, you've got one loop on and you've got your string. If you yarn over, pull it up through, pull it tight. You've got that loop up here. Definitely leave a tail when you clip it. So there's the tail end that's attached. Here's the part when you pull, oops, I'm sorry. Let me get down here. You pull it back out. There you go. You've ended off. So that's all you have to do. But you want to make sure when you want to stop, and if you're changing colors,
Okay.
I still do this and the end off. Some people tie back on and turn. I still make sure there's a knot there. Because I'm telling you,
Yeah, 'cause that'd be ugly. You get something so far and then it start to unravel on you.
right, exactly.
Okay.
So, and to get started back, you just make you another slip knot. Once the yarn is on your hook, you see, this is the end with the tails. You're going to come back here and you're going to insert into that stitch, the one that you normally would skip, and you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, pull the loop through. I don't know if you can see what I just did.
Yeah, I did it. I got it.
Okay. And then you'll chain 2.
Okay.
And then
you can chain 2 and then you just carry back the other way.
Yeah, and then you just keep going. Or sometimes I'm not going to lie, I chain 1 and then come right back into that stitch and just go ahead and make the half double crochet.
I love you so much because you don't lie to us. She say everything she say, I ain't gonna lie. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's talk a little bit about shaming the devil. You are a woman of deep Christian faith, and your faith has sustained you, and you have done a lot of work in the church with youth, at-risk youth. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. We have just wonderful programs here where we can go in. We teach Sunday school, but we also do like a Wednesday night program, which we've not been able to do because of COVID. The restrictions, hopefully now that they're lifting, will allow us to go back. We would feed the kids. We would spend time with them. We teach them a Bible lesson. It's very important, I feel, to be able to connect with the youth here in this area and teach them how to crochet, teach them skills, because I want to tell you something. Money can be took from you, but in education, nobody can take your education.
Nope.
That's what I tell my girls. And to make a difference, a real difference in a child's life, you got to give them the education that they deserve.
Absolutely. And you got to give them love and support, and they got to have some self-worth.
Yes.
And your self-worth is not determined by your partner, be it a man or a woman.
Nope.
They can't do it. Well, Deedra, we ain't gonna make the whole thing, but we got the basics. And I have enjoyed this so much, being with you here on the edge. You are my dear friend. And me and you gonna get offline. You're gonna show me how to make these little flowers, because I love these. These is cute. And you know, they're real big now. They put them on the stick pin and lapels, and men are wearing those on their lapels. You can make a killing.
Oh, and they're so easy to make. You won't believe how easy those things are to make.
Well, I'm just loving this, and I am going to do something with it. I'm going to change my color and do all of that. But thank you again. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you. Are you still selling your books?
Yes, I am. They can actually, you can call me at 606-949-1164. That reaches Hanekamp Manor Bikes and Books. You can order your books, or you can come and pick them up. You can get these on Amazon. They're available at Barnes and Noble, just anywhere books are sold. I've republished. As you can see, the covers have changed a little bit.
They have. They look a little bit more exotic.
Yeah, I got your advice. You've helped me out a lot. You gave me good advice. I fixed my presentation, as they say. But yeah, they can come to 418 Front Street here at Kentucky. Like I said, we got a little shop, Hanekamp Manor Bikes and Books.
Yeah. So and that's what's the name of the bike shop?
It literally, it's Hanekamp Manor Bikes and Books.
That, you know, that's unique, and you can sit there and read a book and crochet while you get your bike fixed.
Yeah.
Where's your husband at? Is he there?
Yeah, come on over here.
Come on over here. Let me meet you, handsome. You done.
There's my Mr. Handsome.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that everything is working out for you, and you sure did make you a nice, fine little baby there.
We sure did.
And you got a wonderful wife. I love her, and I'm so glad that you guys are together and things are working out. Life is good.
It is we are blessed.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Yeah, well, that's what God does. He's in the blessing business. And thank you so much for being on the edge. Where's my postcard? I got so excited with the crochet and I forgot to take care of the business. All right. Go back and listen to other edgy conversations, brains, and learn something. We had a paint and sip party. We have music festivals and concerts. We crochet, we love, we talk, we bond. And I got people in here that's having babies in their 40s. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much, Deedra.
You're welcome.
Bye, Mr. Hanekamp.
See ya.